Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. Didn't plan on doing a part 4, but I made a few mistakes on the cabin. One, I left the road in the door, and I made the window parts so little that they burned away, and I actually burned away the top of the chimney. And on the original one, there was smoke coming out of the chimney, and I forgot to add that, and that's really easy to do. I've already deleted the line, but through, and I can't back up, but I just added some lines and cut it out. And also the road is real thin. Now, even sanding it and it worked, but I'd suggest making the road a little bit thicker, and I'll do that also. So I've already made a window the size of my other windows, and I'm going to take my nudge factor and set it on 1 inch, and I'm going to take that window and nudge it out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is make the windows bigger. So I'm going to take a 2-point line, and I can't really work in the center of the page right now. So what I'm going to do is just select that one and then hold shift that one and hit CE and put it in the center. I'm going to deselect it. I'm going to select just my line. I'm going to control D, and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. I'm going to shift select both of them. I'm going to go make them something more than a hairline. That's a little bit thick. So let's go a little thinner. That's quite a bit thicker than I had before. Let's go to Object, convert it to an outline. Let's left click, right click, and let's cut away. We could weld this, but by the time you figure out, if you hold down the Alt key, by the time you figure it out, you'll have it done. I'm holding down the Alt key so it will kind of give me a guideline. So there's my new window, and you can look at the difference between the spaces of the window. Now, to get that window apart, we need to go to Object and break the curve apart. And then I'm going to grab that window. Well, first of all, I'm going to group this together to make sure it's grouped together. And I'm going to go put that window on that other window. And then I can move this out of the way, and I can grab that window and delete it. And then I can just nudge this right back. And then I can control D and make a duplicate and move this over to that window. And I'm going to nudge it out of the way. And I'm going to try to just delete these without grabbing it from the outside. See, I got some node. So now I'm going to grab that and put it back. And that will be strong enough. Now, I forgot to put the smoke in this part of the chimney just burned away because it was so thin. So I'm just going to take the control button. I'm just going to make this taller. That'll stay. Now, to make the smoke, several ways you could do it. 3-point curve line is kind of start in the middle and go out and then give it a little bend. Get that node, give a little bit of bend, give it some. You can actually go a little bit more and call it that good. And then we're going to make this and make this thicker because this is going to burn away. That'll really work. I'm going to go to Object, convert the outline to an object, left click, right click, take the virtual segment delete key and delete that. Now we are going to, and I did the same thing on the door to get that. I just drew 2 lines. But anyway, we need to make this a little bit thicker, even though we're gluing it. Now the only thing wrong, if you move this up, you're going to mess up your circle. So let's do this. Let's just draw a new line. It's just basically a straight line. Let's just put a line right there. And let's delete that line. And what that did, that made it stronger. Now to make them a little bit more even, you could take your shape tool. Of course, we'll have to move the other line too, but that's fine. Just move it straight down. Still a little bit crooked, but on here, we could actually just move our nodes up because we're not going to mess with the circle. And we could take those 2 nodes and actually make the tree. So that looks pretty good. I could go a little bit more. And if you can't ever move something really minute, if you'll set your nudge factor on something pretty little and grab your shape tool and grab that node and then just use your arrow keys to nudge it up, you can nudge it up, better. We could actually take this line and right click and turn it into a curve. And then you could give a little bit of a curve to it if you like. Now, we do need to use the Smart Fill tool to fill that in, and there you go, your new cabin. And this smokestack should stay. Left click, right click, and you're done. I erased this, but it's the same process. This was a little bit thin, but it worked out because there's 5 things holding it. If I was going to do it over again, I'd make these lines as thick as that line, but it held it together. Then I put a little bit of English oil on just the walnut to make it pop, and you're good to go. So it's easier to start off at the start and do everything right and make your, I made this thing like, the new one is, that's 4.5 inches. That's big. So what you can do to, if you had both of them exactly the same, you could reduce this. See, this is over 4.5 tall because that other part. Just reduce it with your ratio lock, reduce it 75%. Grab this one, reduce it 75%. So now we're under 3. And if we take this, it'll still fit perfectly on that circle. I'm not perfectly there, but I don't think I can see it because I got rid of that other part. Anyway, I'm really happy about it. I think I might make some more for my other grandkids. Anyway, hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.